Hello, this is Victor at RestoringMercedes.com. This video is for Wally and for Garrett in Pennsylvania, and this is Mercedes 600 SEL lower harness. Now, this is a very unusual one because this is a very early style harness, and it's a very difficult, actually very different from the newer ones. So let's just go over the details here, because this is like this took a while longer to do than usual stuff that I do, but nonetheless it is done and it's all checked out and everything is ready to go. Now, the most unusual thing you obviously see is these metal piping over here. That's early harness 92, 93, and that's what they had. And it's funny that the connector is the same, right? So everything seems the same, but the Mercedes used way more insulation on this one versus the newer ones like 94, 95 or 95 or late 94s. But anyway, this particular harness actually has this particular engine has starter on the driver's side. Okay, so this harness goes through the firewall, and this piece goes around transmission, above the transmission, like around bell housing there, and then it goes on the starter on the driver's side. But then this one, when I got this harness, the connection for oil pressure sensor was right here. So obviously oil pressure sensor is not in our closest proximity to the starter. It's just not possible, because the oil pressure sensor would have been way far out, but the connector was there. So, and obviously, Garrett, you sent me the picture of those broken wires, so I assume that those broken wires were another extension that Mercedes used, and it would have connected here and they were ripped. So what I did is I gave you this longer extension here, okay, so you can connect your oil pressure sensor directly, bypassing whatever broken pieces of wire you have there now. This should reach to the oil pressure sensor based on calculations. So for example, if we have the starter in this vicinity, right, so we have transmission is going to be somewhere here, okay, and then there is a Bendix, there is starter, and then the oil pressure sensor should be somewhere in this vicinity. So I gave it like a little extra length, so you can reach basically the front of the engine. As you can see, this is quite long, so you should be okay. I didn't want to give it too much, because then you have to sort of coil wire somewhere, but that will eliminate that extra piece that you have there. I mean, I have no other explanation, because this is a very rare harness. I don't work on many of these. Usually harnesses they come in a newer style, but this one is the older style, which is really rare harness. I'm sure it's not produced and stuff like that, but that's why you don't really see many. Now, what else we have here? Let's take a look. This is our oil level sensor, which is supposed to be on the other side. Okay, it's supposed to be here. It is very strange arrangement here, but again, this is the early style harness, so I can't. Maybe it's on the other side. I mean, I have to double check. It's like I said, this is very rare harness. Now this is our alternator piece, which goes forward like that. So this goes over transmission, this goes down, and it goes down toward the alternator. So this is where alternator connections are. So as you can see, this is very strange, because usually it's the other way. It's not even the other way around. It's that all of these follow this line, because the starter on the newer V12 is on this side, and oil level sensor is also on the passenger side. In your case here, it appears that the oil level sensor, either you have to run it across and plug it in on the other side on the block, or it's actually even on the other side. So, but anyway, I just made some. This is exactly the length that it came. The loom is even original. I left it original. So whatever wires have to reach, they will reach. If you have another extension, so this eliminates that other extension. By diagrams are the same, and so you basically just plug this in. This connector was silicone internally plus plastic welded, so the plastic is welded together so it stays together. Might not be the prettiest looking piece, but it's better than to just glue it. This is real like molten plastic to hold it together, similar way that factory does it. And yeah, basically we're all ready to go. I give you just a little bit extra length for the alternator here, but that's just slightly more than needed. So hopefully this is all going to work just fine, especially this wire, because again, I only received the harness as it is with the connector here, but I decided to make the extension because in case, and yet it is broken, that little extension is broken. I mean, you showed me pictures, I saw them. So you can just take it out and just connect it directly to oil pressure sensor. This is 100% oil pressure sensor, there's no question about it. It's just that the plug ended here, and that's all. So yeah, at this point this is ready. Yeah, it actually took me a little longer, just the longest versus them all. Usually it takes a couple of hours, a little more than a couple of hours, but this one took a little way more, even though it looks very simple, but in reality it isn't. Just to make it look just as factory as you can, because this is how you want it. If you're gonna have wires all over the place, then you're just basically asking for troubles later. And plus, well, this thing takes a while, and you know, the usual. But it is looking beautiful. It looks beautiful now. I'm really happy the way it came out. So this is definitely gonna last many more years to come. Okay, so I'll cut it quits. So and this is it, and I'll send you the video, and then we'll do the payment, and off it goes. Alright, so this is all. This is Victor at RestoreMercedes.com. Thank you for watching.